So, as I was mentioning on this side, on the Cobra side, this is an internal picture of the inside of the Cobra, and as you can see, the centering mechanism is actually a potentiometer, and what this gives you is actually low quality, not accurate. You have to include dead zone in your game if you want to use it as a rudder. Right out of the box, I knew this before purchasing this. This is the second Cobra that I've purchased, and I knew this since I had my first Cobra. And once I took that apart, I immediately noticed that we had this component instead of having that type of contactless and Mars sensor, and enjoy technology that's proprietary to BKB. So yeah, I was pretty frustrated with that. Coming in now from purchasing one from a Chinese company, which is not BKB, by the way, and then them selling this as a high precision, and you end up having this. So this is one thing that I had to review before I decided to merge these two things together. Okay, so long story short, at the end of the day, I'm sorry about the noise, but here we go. So this is what I ended up with is the actual BKB base. By the way, I have left it loose because I'm going to explain a little bit about the what I had to do. I have not fastened these, so this is loose still. But as the overall unit, it's already done. So I have the I have this, and it does have the gimbal now attached to this. We have the 13, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 buttons, counting the eject button. Not counting this because this is actually the mode switch, which I'm you might say, well, if you already took the top half, what is this good for? Well, it's good for because it's going to be good in the future if I decide to place some other buttons, since there's a PC board that I place here which already I also have a 4-way POB hat, and I have the fire button, the trigger for the what was the Gladiator, and I still have the top button that was on the Gladiator, for the similar to the KG12. Those three do work with a pinky switch, and those three do work if I decided to use a mode button. But for right now, since this is the $99 version of the Gladiator, I'm talking about the base, you can only assign 13 commands to only these buttons. Okay. Now that I have this, immediately I could tell now I have exactly what I wanted. Now I have the exact resistance that I wanted for pitching the aircraft, and I'm going to show an image of the bottom. Pitching the aircraft, banking the aircraft left, right, and then with the ability to also twist this in an angle. I'm still a little bit pending to leave this fixed so it's at a 15-degree angle, like most pilots or real pilots would use. But again, as I've said, I have the 3 navigation modes: navigation, air-to-air, air-to-ground, or landing mode, whatever you want. You have your 4-way hat switch, and then you switch it over, and another 4 commands on the fly. Switch it to beyond visual range, and for the hat switch I have another 4 commands. Also the POB, this is an 8-way POB, which does give you that amount of versatility in programming on the fly. And then obviously you have 2 buttons. You have here your this is a flippable it's a flippable fire button with two stages. You press here, as you can tell, it's press in one stage, and then press all the way, and you access this button in the bottom. If you just want to access this button at the bottom, you just flip this. That's out of your way, and now you can access this. As far as the ergonomics goes, obviously there's, this model there was room for improvement, but this is one thing where you might get an idea of, a custom-built, I would say, grip that I might end up doing to resemble more of a Sukhoi type modern jet fighter, which I might do I might have at the end of the day 3D printed or stereolithography. I'm not sure, but for right now I wanted to test this. I want to see how this feels, and also now I have the right button placement. So this layout is at least for me it's great, and it's similar to what in concept to what VKB is going to come out with the modern combat grip and the base. Although the base is going to be for the Gladiator MKII Pro, which they're thinking of putting the another different well, not different, but additional twist mechanism that's going to be available for, I believe, the Gladiator MKII Pro as well as the Gunfighter, which is a big plus for simmers that like to use this feature, which is the yaw on the stick. What I can tell just by feeling now, this thing, is that smoothness in moving, and obviously where I would be able to have that amount of precision, and this comes from obviously the gimbal in the Gladiator, and I have versatility on the top, the mode buttons and everything that I've already said of the Cobra. So at the end of the day, this is a pretty neat build. I'm going to switch this so you can see it. I'm going to switch it to this side. Yeah, so you can see there's a two-stage trigger, just like that. 1, 2. There's your pinky switch, or yeah, it's pinky switch, which you can fold and basically just get out of the way. And this is the way I believe the Su-33 comes in. But as you're in flight, you can put this here and then use it. I found it particularly useful in as an air brake in air-to-air mode, because flying the flanker, the new flanker D, now in DCS 157, I'm just pressing this once, and I'm looking at the backside and my controls I turn with my track IR, and I can see the air brake just going in and out, in and out. And it's just good to get an overall, to brake just a little bit as you're doing formation flying, or you're flying just next to somebody else. It's a great feature to have. And also, if you don't want to use it, you don't want to access it, just push it out of the way, and then my hand rests just on this. Now I have the buttons. Well, they're okay, I guess. They don't feel flimsy. They feel a little bit toyish, I'll be honest with you, but you can hear the snapping sound of that. There's no question you're accessing that. Even by accessing this, it's very, very comfortable. Even the POV hat, I'm just accessing it from the center. My hands are not that large, they're not that small, and I have no issues with the ergonomics of this. Not like I would have on the X55, where I had to reach, or the X56, I had to reach all the way or move my hand up. It's just, this is just awesome. My my palm just rests right there, and I'm not lifting anything. It's just like right there. It's just all the commands that I need. So if this ends up being a good build, in terms of results, in terms of reliability and performance. That's what I'll get, and hopefully I'll be able to, you know, I'll put a video up later on where I'm gonna probably show you guys what I ended up with, and some online video of my online play. So anyways, that's it for this portion of it. There's obviously a lot of work that I had to do to get this thing done. A lot of components that I had to remove from one stick, and as well as keep track and adapt, and have a list of other components that I had to take off, and some ribs that I had to adjust. But at the end of the day, I think it was well worth it. One of the main features, and this is just the last part of the video, and here I'm comparing I want to compare these two main features between one of the things here that the VKB base has, that the center mechanism, or the is driven right here by a contactless sensor, plus this spring that goes on the stem that goes right in there actually has a silver color, but it actually does have a lot of resistance to it. It is tough. You do get a lot of resistance to it, and I think this is the main reason why you do get that feel when you're moving this, in terms of the rudder, just moving it. And regarding the Cobra, the one that I took off, well, this is what you had: a potentiometer, very loose, very cheap, and also the spring that used to come in the middle instead of was very flimsy. I can tell right away. You could tell right away where I used to take the Cobra and just flip it, and just it was very close to being all of the way. But this is just very squishy. It has no resistance whatsoever. So took this off, placed this on, and placed this on. Now, if you're asking, well, how did you place that and that? Well, not done with the build yet. I have done it already. I have already tested it and finished it, but there's a couple of things that I wanted to modify. I just wanted to make the video to show basically what I had to do, and this is the cable that I ran through. Now this build, this is the original cable that came from the Cobra, and what I did is I passed this cable right through there, accessing the chip that's here, the PC board that's here, and obviously now for the time being I have the what would be the Gladiator desktop button, the four-way hat switch, and the trigger disabled, because obviously that's something that I wanted to do, because I would gain a lot from this. But I still have those around. I still have the the four-way or eight-way POV hat. I think it's a four-way. Not sure. But I still can add this if I wanted to place, for some reason, some other four-way hat here. I still have the this, which is the fire trigger from the Gladiator, and I still have this, which is the actually the switch for the pinky for the VKB Gladiator. So as I'm getting 36 total buttons, it's with this configuration as is, and I can still add some more stuff to it. So anyways, this is Sniper. Hope you like this video. I will be I will be uploading a video shortly with my flight experience on this thing. but I can tell you right away that the way this thing feels right now, it's just awesome. And can't wait to upload the video and let you guys know my thoughts and my conclusions of this. But well, here's my modern version, modern combat grip on the fly version that I did, and hope you guys like it. If you like this video or have any comments, just let me know. You know, like it, thumbs up; don't like it, thumbs down. Hope this was helpful, and can't wait to have the modern combat grips from VKB. Thanks.